what you're missing. You know what's really weird? Okay? Every one of you have one thing in common. You have in common that you want to get to the $1 million dream. That's good. You want to get the $1 million dream. What does that mean for you? You see, you're missing a blueprint. You're missing rules, tools, and steps. Rules, tools, and steps. Rules, tools, and steps. And you're scrolling through TikTok and social media. Wee. You got to stop scrolling just for a second or two. Maybe today, you could actually get in the right direction. I think you're missing pieces. Good morning, Jay. How you doing today? What does that mean, missing pieces? All right. Happy Good Friday. Oh, yeah. Happy Friday. Happy Sabbath this afternoon or this evening. So guess what we get to do? All right. Good Friday. See, we have the ability that God gave us to rules and tools. I was lucky as I was even being used and abused as a kid. I paid attention. When I paid attention, I learned. I learned how to get out of what I call hell. That's just my opinion. For me, what worked for me. What worked for me can actually work for you. So I think you gotta stop scrolling, blah, 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 and pay attention just a little bit. What if today, this could be the day you change your life? Your life, what does that mean? If we have a blueprint, okay, and the reality is we follow through is understand the rules and tools. You know, get to know me a little bit, please. I'm Ray Reynolds, the Godfather of Credit. God gave me the ability to study the law as a kid, literally pay attention at the library, and that's what I wanted to do. I'd hide at the library. They'd always say, Ray's at the library, he's hiding out. Well, it's true. See, I didn't like being used and abused. I thought it sucked. So I wanted to understand how the things get to be done. Good morning, Mindy. How you doing today? Well, guess what? It's Happy Friday. It's Good Friday. Reality is we can all have what we believe in our structure. Our structure is very simple. And I'm going to always go back to rules and tools. Every one of you today could inspect yourself. You can understand about your husband, wife, cat, dog, fish, and kids. The house, the car, the goodies, and where you want to go. I believe everybody has a rerun. I think you're having your rerun almost every day for the last, 20, 30 years? You've all tried to get to where you want to go. Tried. As long as we're trying, we're not dying. If we're not trying, we're going to kind of give it up. See, my magic one doesn't work. It doesn't work. Mine's bent and broken. Always good, always good, always good. You see, I wake up every day on my knees. Thank you, Jesus, for yesterday, today, and tomorrow, too. And I please ask forgiveness in Jesus' name, amen. Then I go look in the mirror. I've been doing a mirror test since I was a little boy. The mirror test, very simple. All I know is I have to get myself where I need to go. God gave us the ability to go get it. But again, you have to listen and learn and not follow what I call circus glance. You see, you scroll in and out, and out, and out. You don't follow through. The goal is very simple today. If you want to change your life, you can do that right away. Dr. Reynolds, good morning, sir. Good morning to every one of you. All right? God is good all the time. Always good, always good. Happy Friday. Good Friday. So understand, if we have a book to go by, and that's the Bible, that's what I believe. All right, in the reality is we have choices. Choices is to learn, and I think it's a great guidance for every one of us. Do I agree with everything in the Bible? I try to do my best. I'm a pastor in California, and I got to do the rest, and amen to that too, but I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. I make mistakes because I don't follow through 100% what I'm supposed to do. I got this desire in my head, my way, my way, my way. And it's like when I heard the song My Way from Frank Sinatra. I still say Elvis did the best, song of it, but that's just my opinion because I was an Elvis fan. I like having the ability to play the game. You see, today, all right, I just like to change your life. I'd like you to look at a blueprint. I'd like you to follow through every step, and do it again and again and again and again. Repetition. When someone taught you to drive a car, you had to learn how to drive a stop and put it on the gas and the brakes. You had to learn how to turn the light on, all the pieces. So we had to learn to master how to drive a car. Now, some of us never learned to master a car at all. And what happens very simple. You bump a car, bumpity bump. And then they sue the registered owner, it's probably you. What would happen? Then they sue your spouse. If we don't plan the problem, and very careful, I plan the problem. I have a backup for a backup. I overthink everything. Always have, always will. My wife says, hey, you don't have to worry. It's okay. No, it's not. What if? And then she goes, it's okay. My wife's more of my cheerleader than anything. She's watched me get knocked down. She's watched me basically go through hell and back, and she watched me always have money. She goes, how do you do that? How do you do that? Well, I became a corporate billionaire at 21 years old through structure. I'm not the billionaire, the structure of the corporation is. See, I was not dumb enough to put things in my name like you. I don't like what you do. I think what you do sucks. Sorry. I'm just going to tell you the truth. Today I have a class at 3 o'clock. Tomorrow I have 5 classes, plus I'll be live in the morning as well. You could actually spend the day with Ray Reynolds, the Godfather of Credit, that has built $60 billion of credit for his clients and himself over the last 50 years. The guy that's been online or in person for 6 days a week. It's simple. Me. See, I got basically all this crap in my life, and I'm just a unique kid. All right? They didn't like me. Nobody liked me, it seemed like. It's like the world hated me. It's not nice. You see, the bottom line for me was very simple. You know, when I found out I was born in a taxi, how would you feel, all right, if they gave you a letter, all right, when you're 3 years old, and they explained it to you? Now, I learned to read when I was 2.5 years old. Mrs. Hope read a book. I sat next to her, tried to, and I read the book with her. So I actually memorized the words. I screwed myself up. You say spelling became a problem because I learned to memorize all the words. So I could read better than I could spell. Oh, yeah, what do? You're supposed to learn to spell and read at the same time. I screwed it up for myself. But that's what I did. I ended up recalling everything she read without looking at the book. And she goes, where are you from? What? What planet are you from? And then she started calling me names all the time. That was a piece of what? Not very nice. But I learned to understand. When I looked at the letter, they explained it to me when I was 3.5 years old, 4 years old. All right, you were born in a taxi. Mommy gave you a girl's name. Your middle name's Ray. So it's up to you what you want to do today. And then Ali, she put you in a trash can. And now you're with me, Mrs. Hope, the she devil from hell. So what? How would you feel if you found out you were born in a taxi, put in a trash can like a piece of you know what? It's simple. Being abused as a kid sucked. I didn't like it. It bothered me. I'm always thinking, okay, you're looking on TV. They got mommy and daddies. What's that? What's a mommy and a daddy? What's a grandma? What's a grandpa? I have no idea. My whole childhood, I have no idea. And I dealt with crap after crap after crap. I'm trying to survive and not be used and abused. And that's the thing. So the bottom line is I don't have excuses, but you do. Why do you have excuses? Why do you have excuses? Why aren't you the corporate millionaire you're supposed to be? I don't know. That's about it. I don't understand. You can call the office today. You can be assigned to a specialist. They'll ask you 10 questions, and they'll help guide you every step of the way. Or see, I'm the coach. They basically coached Carlton Cheats, David Delgado, and the rest of all these people. I was coaching coaches. Isn't that fun? I've been coaching for 50 years. You might want to play because guess what? I brought in my first $1 million as a kid. Wow. But guess what? I learned to listen very good. I learned to try everything I tried to see if it worked. See, the problem, you get stuck. I think currently today, you happen to say rerun you do every day. Congratulations. You might as well change the channel. So I got tired of watching the Lucy show. Every one of them. I knew them all backwards out. So let's change the channel today. What if we change the channel and you keep what you're doing today and you quit scrolling through TikTok and look at the clowns, and you learn to play. See, TikTok's phenomenal. All these people coming in, but they're scrolling too fast and not paying attention. They are listening to what I call clowns. Let's roll off right off the Rolex, okay? No, you can't. You see, when I went to the store to buy basically a Rolex watch, okay, they didn't realize what I was actually doing. It's just funny for me because guess what? I created my first million and billion years and years ago. First billion, 21. Isn't that fun? Well, I was at the jewelry store and I was getting wholesale pricing because I got to buy more than one. Okay? So I looked at it and I said, okay, on the counter, I'd like to look at these 12 Rolexes, okay? Bing, da, ding, da, bing, da, bing, da, ding, da, ding, da, ding, okay? That's what I did. All right? And he said, what? So he said, which one you want? All of them. I bought 12 at one time. All right? I spent $4 million, but it's not my money. It's borrowed money. Borrowed money is not taxable. Wow! It's simple. See, my problem is I can know how to make money, I knew how to keep it, and I didn't listen to a bunch of ding-dongs like you. You have this problem. You keep listening. Wee, let's scroll. Hey, TikTok. Ooh, there's a clown. There's a clown. Stop it. Could you imagine today if you took out your piece of paper and you wrote down what I told you to write? You could create what you want to create. I used borrow money to buy $4 million of Rolex watches. I got one that matches every shirt and every car I would drive. Why wouldn't you do that too? See, I'm the guy that's not full of what? You know what? Guess what we get to do? We get to play. We're going to play my way because your way sucks. Isn't that terrible to say the truth? The truth? You see, even though I got used and abused as a kid, I paid attention. I paid attention. That made it very simple. Okay, what did I do? Let's understand. Mrs. Hope, oh, wonderful lady, Mrs. Hope. I remember exactly because I can smell it through my nose. I have recall, and if I think and close my eyes, I can smell the ocean. I can smell the Redondo Beach. What did she do? Fantastic today. What did she do? Oh, I do like the shirt and the tie too today. Fantastic. I'm glad the matches, okay? But again, the first time, okay, she dropped me off at Redondo Beach Pier. She drives up to the pier, this little area to the pier, Redondo Beach Pier. Okay, she says, get out. Okay. All right, I got out of the car. She says, come around the car. If you're not here at 5 o'clock, I'm going to leave you there. That's what she said. What? All right, so then she drove off. What? I'm just, what am I going to do? What am I supposed to do? So I walked over to the pier. There was a light, and there's a little fan to keep warm. Okay, you don't get it. I was 3.5 years old. You understand that? 3.5 years old. This Mrs. Hope, what a hell of a name, dropped me off at the pier. Son of a biscuit. So I walked over to the pier and kept in the light. I got hungry. Okay, it was dark. It was 6:30 in the morning. So I had to follow somebody, and I watched someone have breakfast, and they didn't eat it. Also went to the trash can, and I grabbed trash. I ate the trash. Hey, I was hungry. So what would you do in your life when you're living in hell like some of you are today? You have to repackage yourself. So if you can learn how I got out of hell, you could probably help yourself as well. But it's going to be up to you. It's always up to you. You have to realize a blueprint. Everything in this world to me is rules and tools. Rules and tools, rules and tools, okay? That's what's important to me, okay? Now, when the sun came up, you can see Marina del Rey on the other side to the left. Right side, you see Rat Beach, okay? The Torrance Rocks and Palos Verdes. You know what I saw? I saw money. Money, money, money. That's what I saw. Wow, money. So I'm looking at all these people. Look at all these rich people. Now, I taught myself to read 2.5 years old. I'm 3.5 years old at the pier. Now, I decided to basically steal off the pier. They open all these, in the morning, it's like they're with water, they're, kind of squirting everything down, cleaning it up, getting ready for the day. This place, so they had, caramel corn, all kinds of stuff. So I reach over the counter and I grab some goodies, I was hungry. I did that for a couple of days, okay? I didn't realize the man who owned the stand saw me do this each day. What did I do? The third day, he grabs my hand. Ah! Now, I'm 3.5 years old. I think he's going to throw me off the pier, okay, to the sharks. I don't know what's on the other side of the pier. It's the ocean, okay? I have no idea. All right, now all he can say is, bye. He said 3 days, bye. I can see it, smell it to this day. Bye. Take out my trash or I'll call the police. He said it 3 times. Which one do you think I picked? I took out the trash. I was known as Bye on the Redondo Beach Pier to everybody for 9 years. So I was 9.5 years old. Clean the chump bucket. Go to my mansion on the weekends and shovel horse and you know what. Clean it up. I was Bye. Hell, I was a janitor as a kid. Wow, wow, wow. What do I do? I'm listening. I remember the owners of Tony's, all right, his daughter's named Christy. She's got a talking horse. They said they have horses can't talk. That's like Mr. Ed. Well, Wilbur. No, we talk to the horse. It does what we tell it to do. She's in all these champions and all this. Because they have so much money, they don't know what to do with it. She's got these professional horses, and it would dance. It's just a horse doing all this stuff. So I clean the horse, blah, 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 you know what. So I learned to listen. The moral of the story today is you need to learn to listen. Turn these up. See, I listened. I realized one thing. I had to give myself what I call a hell. I had to give myself, all right, the next steps. No one's helping me. I don't got a mommy and a daddy to help me like you do. There's no social media, there's nothing. You're on your own, you're on your own. So I listened, I learned. That was important to me. And I gathered magazines. I'd gather magazines about rich and famous people all the time. So what do? How'd they get their money? How'd they get their money? Okay, then I find myself at the library all the time too, the library. See, they'd always say, Ray's hiding at the library, Ray's hiding at the library. I was actually reading books because that's where I found myself to find a way and get through the process as we do this. So again, as you listen and learn today, he says credit repair. Get with it. Well, the reality is I'm going to get with what I want to stay, and then basically the story, if you don't like it, go away. It's simple. You see, all right, people can't push me. I'm a puppet master controlling right now over $6 billion of goodies. So if you want to get your goodies, you pay attention, you listen and learn, and I don't do credit repair anyway. Credit repair is a fraud. See, anybody trying to do credit repair, okay, their problem is very simple. Okay, you're not paying your creditors. You're trying to be a crook. See, the magic wand doesn't work. It's BS, 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 BS. So what does this mean? The BS meter, let's see. The Fair Credit Reporting Act says no one can do credit repair unless they're a nonprofit, 501c3 exemption, and register the Attorney General's office, and cannot collect money up front. You see them everywhere. I'm going to repair your credit. We'll use this code, late payment, and collection account, da. See, the reality is simple. I would tell you flat out, do not pay credit repair companies because they're a fraud. You can look at it online yourself. They indicted Daniel in the credit repair cloud, $3 million. They knocked on the door, and they're putting him in prison where he belongs. See, there's no magic wand. If you don't pay your creditors, you're a damn crook. Live with it. It's just truth. You're a crook, you're a crook, you're a crook. And if they go credit repair, what's going to happen? So let's go back to process. Let's understand the credit system, how I got involved in it in the first place. All through this process, listening and learning library time all the time. And then from there, at T. Weaker Junior High in Costa Mesa, they tested me 3 times. They put me in Orange Coast College at 14 years old, 14 and a half. So I go to college, I go to high school. It'd be a waste of my damn time. Eventually, I become the consultant for TRW. Let's understand. Credit bureaus were started by inquiry base. That's why they started them, to track inquiries. Mike Lewis tried to rip off B of A and said this, if you don't join my manual credit report agency, we're going to go get all more money from your branches. So they wanted to be able to track where you applied for credit. That's what it started it. Now, TRW was Thomas Raymond Woolrich. This is 1977, okay, when I'm working as TRW's consultant, training Ken Yarborough. Ken is the ex-security chief of TRW. Okay, at the time, he was actually bodyguard for President Nixon at one time. NCID, okay, so no problem. He's got good credentials. So what happened is very simple, okay, we had to come up with things. They consult, they gave me some ideas, and I gave them ideas. My goal for them was very simple, okay? All right, here's the inquiry base, here's what we got, and we're trying to figure out what's the best way to track credit. So the first thing I did, very simple. Thanks for these tips, Mr. Reynolds. Well, I appreciate your thank you. We got a jerk over here, and everyone else is nice. Okay. So, hey, you're going to get jerks everywhere you go. Not everybody likes me. Not everybody likes you. To live with it. There's no choice. So, we're in this board meeting. We're talking about all the things about credit in the inquiry base. I said, well, why don't we do a couple things? Why don't we think about history? Because history is what I always studied as a kid. So the goal for me is very simple. What I said there is very hard. Let's use the oldest credit card. So the goal is, okay, let's write it down. So we're writing things down with this, this is Yarborough, this is all a couple of people in the room, and we're thinking about the credit system, what it's going to be today and in the future. So we said oldest card. Okay, well, that's history. Okay, so I didn't know they're going to take all the rules and tools that I'm writing, and I'm telling them what I think. I'm giving them my opinion, but I'm a consultant. Okay, no problem. From there, I said, if we use the oldest credit card, that's history. What if we use a percentage? See, everything about math is percentages, and that's what it looked for me, and I like that. It made sense to me. So what I wanted to do is understand a percentage of utilization. So what happened is, we talked about what percentage we look at. First of all, we're looking at, let's say, 100% divided by 1/4. Okay? And the reality is what happened then is I said, why don't we use a 29% rule? So back then, even then, they called it Ray's Rules and Tools, okay? I didn't get the nickname to it, they did. So they're using Ray's Rules and Tools. What does this mean? Okay? For instance, this is a credit card. This credit card is worth 10,000. This one's 100,000. Very simple. So what happens very simple from there. We used to do these little dots they had in school back then. We didn't have stickies. So the difference is today I'd say use a sticky. So what I did is, like an example, it's okay, if this is a 10,000 credit card, now understand something. 70s and 80s and 90s, part of the 90s, they sent credit cards from the banks and credit card companies without basically applying for credit. They sent and said, activate the card. That's all they did. Activate the card. So the bottom line is that's what they said. So it'd come in the mail. That's what I did in Helping Hand. So all of a sudden, okay, if this is $10,000, okay, and we put 29% rules on the back of 29%, right? The goal for me was, okay, how do I have safety? Now here's me as a kid and getting to be an adult, and I didn't have a family. So I think, okay, if I had a family, I'd want to make sure I don't bring the pain home. I wrote Don't Bring the Pain Home, I think in 1978, 79. Don't bring the pain home, because that's what I wanted to make sure I did for other people. So all of a sudden we put this card and 29% rule, okay, it made sense. So unfortunately you jack up the cards all the time. You jack them up, you drop your score, you get stuck, you can't get any more. You back yourself in a corner because no one told you how to play the game. They didn't teach you what you needed to know. Now I'd tell you flat out, download some books. I've written 67 books so far. I have another 40 being edited right now, believe it or not. This is basically starting out right. Starting out right's very simple. It's for you and the kids. So it's $50 in the open market in the bookstores. No problem. Here it's $50. No, it's free. It's free. In the link tree, all right, you can download that book for free, share it with your kids and yourself and read it, understand rules and tools. Then you give it to everybody in the world. If you gave it away to everybody in the world, they think you're a nice person. Well, let's get them to think you're nice, even if you're not nice. How's that? So that gives you the rules and tools. Now, the next thing is, so if we look at these cards, now here we have some pretend coaches. What does that mean? They buy my books and they think they're a damn coach. One says, $20 a month for my school. I have an education in law and accounting. I'm a licensed teacher. I'm a pastor. I have degrees up to yin yang, okay? But again, I keep studying law all the time, all the time. I'm not, what, he's a pretend person or these other people, what? I call them clowns. When they tell you to pay off your credit card every week or every month, that's a mistake. Why is it a mistake? Your banks and credit card companies are going to make money off you. That's what they're supposed to do. If you're trying to trick them not to make money off of you, what are they going to do? They're going to shrink your limits or go somewhere else. They're going to give credit to somebody else, not you. And that's what happens. See, as you scroll through the internet, you might want to pay attention to rules and tools to build your foundation. Foundation builds the dream, and that's the ultimate goal. Structure, foundation, dream. Structure, finance, and dream. God, family, money. God, family, money. So what do we do? Understand? Okay, thank you for being a long time watcher and listener as well. So what happens? So if you want a $50,000 card, you can't pay it off every week and every month and blah, blah, blah. You're going to have to keep a minimum 10 to 15% on cards, period. You got to show them you're going to make a little bit of money. They can make money off you. Why? Because you probably want $1 million of credit. Would you like $1 million? How many millions would you like? How many millions of dollars of credit would you like? I've been doing this since, as a kid. I have $2 million of this stuff. How much would you like? I have over 1,200 cards just in my hands in a jar. Would you like to learn how to get the money to get the honey? So the bottom line, it's a bunch of hooey out there. It's a bunch of what I call hooey. It's a bunch of BS, by the way, in my opinion. So if you want credit for the corporation or LLC, you can't just pay off the card every week and every month because they're not going to give you bigger limits. That's what's going to happen. Hey, we got Howdy Doody here today. All right, why do you tell people to take their car and sell it to their trust? That's called dumb. Because when they drive the car, they sue the trust. That holds all their assets. I've been calling you out for a long time because I don't like what you say because you're full of hooey. You tell people you failed 19 times because you did. Now you want them to listen to you. So howdy doody. All right, tell the truth. You don't know what you're talking about, but that's just okay. If people are silly enough and dumb enough to listen to you, that's okay. So what do? Here's the go. You're a man. You're a husband. You're a father. Man up. See, the reality is very simple. All cards fluctuate how they design the system. These do not. These do not. These do not. What? So when you have a bad day, you lost your job, what do? First of all, you call your creditors or go online and increase your limits right away. You increase your limits. Most of you try to do that after you screwed it up. You backed yourself in a corner. Wow, what? Why don't you plan the problem? These don't fluctuate. What does that mean? They don't have a utilization problem, gold and platinums. That's why I always pick on these. Gold and platinum cards have no utilization problem. So when I get you to 750 and above, you don't drop your score, you don't get stuck, and you get some more. See, credit's the only way you're going to be able to survive in life. Buy the house, the car, and all the goodies. And then if you want a corporation to go get the goodies, you have to have credit on that too. Very simple. Hi, Charlie. How you doing? I love the fact everybody watches me all the time. Have fun. Now, I've been writing checks for millions and millions of dollars for 50 years for radio and TV. No problem. What happens? Very simple. I decided to try this TikTok and social media thing 19 weeks ago. I've got 66,000 plus followers, okay, in the first 17 weeks. I think I'm doing okay. I hope I'm doing okay. I'm just having fun. I realized because people keep scrolling, wee, look at the clowns, look at the clowns. It's like this is entertainment. Look at the clowns. Sometimes, they slow down and pay attention. That's what you did. Thank you. Why? Because you get to learn to change your life if you want to. These don't fluctuate. These do. So what we do. Now, here's what I would tell you to do today. It's going to be up to you. And these are my cards, very simple. And I always bring a set of my wife's cards for the fun of it too. Why? Why not? We get to have fun. I like having fun, don't you? So what do? My wife's name is Faizuli. What a good little name. I love that. And then here's my cards. So which set do we have? See, we got to realize something. Even though my wife and I have been married for 21 years, and we became one under God's eyes 21 years ago, God found me money, we have separate credit. We don't do anything joint because we're not dumb. Because you did that, you screwed both of you at the same time. That would make no fun. So we do this right my way, my way, my way. What does this mean? So today, okay, you get to have some fun as well. So guess what? Now, as we play this game to win. By the way, this is my wife's and Miss cards too. Right there too. See, we got to realize something. Never bring the pain home. Never bring the pain home. Never bring the pain home. You bring the pain home because of your lack of knowledge. I'm sorry, I believe that to be true. Because if you had the knowledge, why would you ever bring the pain home in the first place? You men have failed 5 times plus. That means your wife's going, is this going to work, honey? Please make this one work. You tried to get where you want to go. And you didn't have structure, finance, and dreams. You scared your wife, ladies and gentlemen. Men, you've scared your wife. Because she's trying to make sure you do the next one. Make it work, make it work, make it stop. You see, the man's supposed to give security to the woman. I'm a chauvinist. My wife never opens that door when we're driving a car. She knows better. Yes, I'm going to make sure I boss my wife around. Isn't that terrible? We train each other. I open the door, all right, every time, okay? You know why I open the door for my wife when she gets in the car and then walks through the door? I get a kiss. I want every kiss I can get. Do you understand? I do it because I get paid. I love my wife. She's fun. She's crazy as can be. That's okay. So if we do this correctly, let's watch. Come on. Let's have this. If you have this today and did it my way, that's $100,000 of credit. There's too much. Stop. What does it do? Listen carefully. The moment you have a blankety blank day, okay, it gives you 71,000 actually. It gives you 71,000 of safety credit. Safety. You see, if you get a bad day or lose your job, you got to buy time. You have to buy time. Time. What does this mean? It's very simple. It's called time, money, and credit. Lack of time, no money, no credit. There's your problem. Your problem is you. Sorry to say, but it's true. So I would want you to give yourself basically, all right, 71,000 of safety. Is that okay? 71,000 of safety? You see, there's no reason to bring the pain home. You brought the pain home because you don't know what you're doing. Sorry. You listen to your friends and family, amateur hour. Wow, isn't that good? Why don't we use the rules and tools that I wrote in 1977? Oldest card, fluctuation 29%, rapid rescore, block your crap, push score up, and away, and get more credit to reduce your debt to ratio. You see, today, if your cards are jacked up by most of you, you're going to need credit to reduce your debt to ratio. How do you get more credit when you screwed up your credit? A rapid refresh pushes it up and gets more green lights. So let's take a card and do balance transfer. Let's repackage you the right way. Credit repair is a fraud. So quit scrolling to wee. Slow down on TikTok. Pay attention to Ray Reynolds, the Godfather Credit, who built $60 billion of credit for himself and his clients in 50 years. I've incorporated 3 presidents. I incorporate rich and famous all the time. Okay? I have 39 million millionaire clients by 2009 before I died in a coma. So if you want to listen and learn, we're going to do it my way because I don't like your way. Sorry, I'm going to tell you the truth. So credit repair, get the free book, Winning the Credit Game. All right? It's free. The open market at the bookstore, it's $100. Now let's watch. Come on. All right? This is called New File. Ken Yarborough, he was security chief at TRW. In 87, we wrote a book together. He wanted to do what's called file segregation. Okay, how do we actually replace everything in letters and laws and everything you can do to start a new credit file? When we got done with that, I realized one thing. The employee or what? The people in the world can screw their creditors? This could actually allow them to set up a new file correctly, legitimately, like we did for witness protection. No. There was a reason for witness protection. This is no, okay? So when it got all done, at the end of the day, file segregation, we wrote it together, all right, file segregation. It would allow someone to get a new credit file and circumvent not paying their creditors. All right, when it was done, I said, no, we're not gonna do that. So I put it on the shelf. I didn't want to teach some crook how to start a new file when they didn't pay their creditors, because if you're doing credit repair, you're a crook. You're not paying your creditor. You owe them money, pay their money. The back here is you verify Ray Reynolds, that's me. That's the highest kick in 1981, by the way. It's only 13 feet. I had the highest kick, fastest kick on planet Earth. And guess what? You can verify everything I say today. It's kind of fun. One of the cars in the 21 car collection, one of the mansions, one of the yachts. No, it's $2.6 billion in real estate at one time, having fun through the corporate structure. $2.2 billion. Isn't that fun? By the time I was 26. I don't understand what's wrong with you. I don't understand. I created my first $1 million when I created Car Finder. Simple. Then I went to the corporation structure. So again, when I did what's called prove it or remove it. See, after we set up the credit system in the 70s, I felt bad. I felt guilty. I felt, no, what about the counterbalance? Here I've been researching law and accounting since I could practically walk, and I go to myself, what's the counterbalance? See, everywhere in law, there's counterbalance. Okay, both sides have to be able to do something. Again, nobody, the power and the credit bureaus on the other side do anything. So I wrote a book called Prove It or Remove It. Okay, prove it or remove it. So what happens? So from there, when I wrote Winning the Credit Game, it was a red book. So the bottom line is because I felt your credit was hot. It's on fire. Okay. Then from there, since I became a chess master when I was 13, I made it a chess game. See, your credit is a game. It's a game. So if you understand credit, you can get to where you want to go. But unfortunately, you keep scrolling and want to hire someone else. Can you imagine? You've hired so many people in your life, and they've all let you down. Your friends and family have let you down, some of them, and ripped you off. And you hire companies and let you down. Why don't you learn to do things for yourself? Why don't you get the free books and have fun? Why not? Now, so here's the way it looks like when you download it, okay? All right, I like it. It's nice and pretty. You know, right? What happens? In the book, you'll see some of that Lamborghinis part of the collection. Real Lamborghinis. Bam, bam, bam. I bought my first one at an auction. I had to pick it up. Simple as a Quintosh. So during my divorce, I was bored when I divorced my first wife. She's a cheater. Okay. So the bottom line is very simple. I gave her $15,000 a week for 2 years. We lived in separate beds to raise my 4 daughters. All right, because what happens? They needed their daddy's girls. So if you want, this is free. It's in the open. This is $100 in the open market. If you want, you can download it now in the link tree. You can call the office. You can't find something. From here, you got starting out right for the kids and you. So again, this is all free. Free. Okay? I've been teaching and preaching, helping people for 50 years for free. My wife calls this my hobby. All right? My current wife, we've been married 21 years. She's my partner of life. She's my best friend. She's everything, and we became one. Okay? It's very simple as we do these things. So if you listen and learn, you can change your life if you want to. Okay? I wanted you to understand credit, so that's why I wrote basically starting it right. This is for the kids in high school and college and you. When you get the book, download it and send it to everybody you know for the fun of it. Why not? Why not? It's free in the link tree. So if you want to listen about credit repair, okay, that's what we're going to do. You ready? You ready to write it down? Every credit card you have and utility bill is going to go paperless. Paperless. Okay? All right, let me read this. Okay, the rules of 25-20%. Give me 7.1 and soft pull increase. Okay, what happens? Increase your credit card limits on the dashboard. There's no inquiry. But again, American Express give you that $100,000 paid over time limit as well. So get some safety. It's up to you as well. So last quarter of this year, I'm 35% forward to the 100,000. Okay. Well, again, as we analyze you, I can point you out in direction if you want to. Today at 3 o'clock, I have an analyzation class if you want to show up to that. And I'll show you exactly what I do for other people. Okay. All right. So what is our goal? Remember, utility bill, credit cards. I want an automatic payment. Auto pay, auto pay, auto pay. Write down auto pay. Okay, I want you to be paperless. Got it so far? I want you to make an extra payment on your credit cards weekly or bi-weekly. I don't care if it's $10. I don't care if it's $20. I want you to understand something today. You're calling this number. I said you're calling this number. Okay? So let's understand what's going to happen to every one of you. Now, I watched all these circus clowns on the social media. Look what I did for my client. Look what I did. The way I designed the system, ladies and gentlemen, it'll do it by itself. Okay, you do not need to pay $20 for some phony coach going blah, 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 blah all day long. Okay, it's ridiculous. You're going to opt out the national mailing list. I understand? The national mailing list, you're going to opt out. Okay, so call this number later today. Opt out 5 years, please. 5 years at least. It says 5 years or a lifetime. It's 888-567-8688. Now, back in the 70s and 80s, all right, I helped actually establish the opt-out phone number in the system for your nonprofit. So that means simple. It gets you off the national mailing list. Right now, your information is being sold and traded on the black web, the dark web. It is, because you're not off the list. See, you bought a house, escrow closed, Homestead Trust. Oh, you didn't do the homestead or the trust? What's wrong with you? These don't work? I don't get it. But when you bought the house, everybody knows it's your house. It's public record. So you might want to get off the national mailing list to help yourself. So then it's simple. You see, what is your ultimate goal for you? To be a CFO. Your goal is to be a CFO for your family, family first. So we can do it simultaneously. What does this mean? If today we basically focus on family, God, family, money, God, family, money. That's what we need to do. We have to be a CFO for our family. We have to feel, okay. Now understand, I never bring the pain home because when it comes to money, I control millions and billions of dollars. I have most of my life. Even though I've been in 2 comas, I died and 1 came back, is why I rebuild it again. So if we do basically what I tell you to do today, your score is going to go up and away. Is that okay? We do that for you? You build foundation. Now, husbands and wife, you never had joint credit, okay? Joint credit's for dumb people. You're not dumb. You did joint credit. When you bought a house, no. When you buy a house, it's escrow closed Homestead Trust. Only one of you's on the loan because one of you's going to be a duck and a sheep. When you close escrow, it's escrow close, Homestead first, irrevocable trust. Now, both husband and wife control the trust, and they have their asset protected while they offset their taxes and recycle their income and get their money back on their paycheck. See, your problem, you today, is you get your paycheck, it's taxed, you get the leftover. And then you get taxed on everything you do because you don't know what you're doing. Amateur hour's over. Your paycheck's taxed now, all right, you get the leftover, and I want you to get back your leftover. I want you to get back to what they took from your paycheck. We're gonna have a house payment. For 24 years, it's all interest anyway. The house payment helps you get your money back that they took from your paycheck. It's called recycling money. So you could end up breaking even. Is that okay to do that? So when someone says basically, do not buy a house, sell me the water. He bought my books 20 years ago. I still say he's a clown then and now. That's just my opinion. So what happens? A house payment is the same thing for rent. If you want to make someone else rich like you're doing today, keep doing it. If you want a house payment, okay, it'll get your money back on your paycheck because on your tax return, you get it back because that interest on that house is actually 24 years of interest. If you can't afford a house, that's not true. In my link tree, you'll look at Pathlight. All right, and what will happen is it'll help you get a house to lease and convert it to a mortgage in 12 months. You're going to be wanting Ray Reynolds the rest of your life to help you, and you're going to help your family. Your family before you put you in probate, and you're doing the same thing to your kids today. It's time to knock it off. It's time to understand something. You have one source to get everything you ever need in your whole life. It's me. Simple. So at the link tree, look in the link tree and all the pieces. You need a corporation? Fantastic. They're in the link tree for free. You pay your little filing fee. See, most of you got a corporation. You spend thousands of dollars. Thank you, Jay, for the goodies. And what happens? You spend $1,000 plus. You didn't learn daily squat. My classes tomorrow are all free. All of them. 5 classes, and I'm live in the morning too. So would you like to listen, learn, and spend the day with Ray? I'm going to tell you how to do things on your own. You do it, we do it, I do it. Simple. I want you to understand what you can do. Quit paying people to do things for you. Quit being lazy and understand what it does and what you need to do for yourself. Foundation builds dreams. Structure, foundation, dreams. Structure, foundation, dream. God found me money. God found me money. So what do we do? So again, you call the number. You opt out for 5 years. Later today. What do you do from there? You download the books for free. So it'll save you $150 free. Now. What does that mean? All right? God morning. I think you want to put good morning, but God morning too. God is good all the time. So what do we do? Let's understand something. If we opt out, all right, off the national mailing list, we protect our family. We basically protect everything we have. In the future, you're going to become a puppet master. Okay? So let's write down puppet master. I wrote books years ago, and I've been writing, I've got 67 books so far, and got other ones being edited today. I don't own anything, but I control millions and billions of dollars. I did corporate structure. At 21 years old, my structure was $1.1 billion. At 26, it was $2.6 billion. At 2009, before I died in a coma, it's $3.7 billion. Okay? So how do you opt out? Well, you're late. What do you do? Let's go back to it. Call the phone number. See, you're allowing your information to be sold on the dark web. Why do you do that? No one tells you. Nobody. I don't get this. I don't get these circus clowns that say they're coaches. I don't understand. Okay? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Okay? So you can ride off your Rolex. No, you can't. You can ride off your haircut. No, you can't. The chef at home. I've never seen someone as dumb in my life. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Why would you ever listen to circus clowns who have not been educated about law and accounting and the things that you can learn the truth? Well, you're going to pay 15.3% on a tax unemployment for an LLC. Let's have our children work there for free. I've never seen someone as dumb. I'm an affiliate at $62 million of credit. This is $3 million. Actually, we counted yesterday, it's $4 million. Would you like some money? How much money would you like? Okay? See, the choice is very simple for you. Let's pretend you're going to allow me to tell you what to do for the next 12 months. What's it going to look like? In 12 months for you, okay, this would be your life. This is your life. See, you drove by that Wendy's restaurant the other day. Why don't you own it? You drove by the storage unit. Why don't you own it? I bought my first Jack in the Box when I was 19 years old through a corporation. See, I like auto income. 1987, I had a problem. You see, what happened for me, I created division process in 84. You got a law in 85, 86. All 50 states allow a division process. Every division is managed by the parent company. Simple, no problem. Then in 87, I wrote the dashboard that allows tax ID to build on credit for the credit cards. See, in 87, every credit card application said ITIN, EIN, or SSN. So I created that as a dashboard. When I had 53 million of credit in 88, I had a problem restricting my limits because I'm not using it all. So I turned it into a matrix. Then by the time it was 1989, I created basically assignment of mortgage. I'm doing real estate and all kinds of fun, having fun. Whee! See, if you learn to listen today, and if you like a mouse pad, now I know this one's backwards, the one on the screen's not. So don't tell me this, blah, 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 blah. I'd like to send you a mouse pad for free. It's a very quality mouse pad. I'd like you to focus on this. Here's your future. Your future is up to you if you want to get $100,000 a month income. That's right, to the corporation, not you at all. Okay? When we speak to the specialist, do we also set, all right, chance to speak to you? All right, in a separate charge. Well, me, I'm a coach. All right, in the open market, I'm 5,000 an hour and 50,000 a day. Companies have paid me for Mattel, Disney, all these other things for years. Here, you get to talk to me for free, and the classes tomorrow are free too. My wife tells me I'm basically this is my hobby. It is. See, I want to help people. Okay, Guthrie Ranker accused me years ago. You only want to help poor people. No, I want to help everybody. Okay, but again, it's very simple as we do things. So understand. If you focus on this as your dream, okay. If you want to talk to me personally, that means a blueprint call. What is a blueprint call? Very simple. I got my mouse pad, thank you. Well, let's focus on it. See, what happens is this, okay? All right, I do a blueprint call. People do pay me to do that call, okay? I want a mouse pad. In the link tree, do it, request it. It's very simple. I need a mouse pad, sorry, yes, it's in the link tree. Fill it out, they'll send it to you right away. Can't find it, you call the phone number, simple. So let's understand. If we today focus on what we're trying to get and the goal. All right, I'm going to help you. I'm going to invite you to class this afternoon, a real class. Okay, I'm a certified everything you can think of. I went to school, got the paper too. The reality is anybody can go to school and get the paper. I have recall. You read the book, you do the test, you're done. Okay, simple. I have an IQ over 203, by the way, and it's not possible. Well, I do. They tested me 2 weeks in junior high, put me in West Coast College. I have recall on most things. I write with both hands, talk at the same time too. But then I stutter once in a while. Is that okay? Is that okay if I stutter once in a while? I'll reload what I think because my brain goes too fast. Ay, ay, ay. But you know what happens? Today, that mouse pad there, the one you allow me to send you, I want you to focus on it. I want this to be your future. Men, all right, you have screwed up 5 times plus men. Okay, your wife's going, ah! Inside. She prays, she loves you, but the difference is your businesses have not done everything it needs to do. Plus, you did not build foundation and dream what you did. Okay, I like a mouse pad. Anything else that would like to put me on the track? Yeah, get your books. I told you, you're late, that's fine. Get the free books to put your credit back on track. See, let's say today that you say you want the $1 million dream. What does that mean? All right, instead of scrolling through the internet and stuff and doing what you do, I want you to do what I do. Okay? This is $4 million. What would you do with it today? What would you do with $4 million? Let's lower it to there because, all right, you got to learn how to play the game to win first. What would you do with $1 million of credit? What would you do with $1 million of cash? So let's ask that basic question today, okay? If I gave you $1 million today in cash, how many would you like? Could you type, yes, I'd like it, yes, 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 please type it. Put in a little yellow dot on the side. Type yes, I'd like the $1 million. Come on, this is simple. All right, I got the yes, okay, fantastic. We want $1 million in cash. Fantastic. Now, my next question is, would you like cash or credit? Would you like cash or credit? Cash or credit? Come on, tell me. Okay, tell me you want cash or credit. Simple. You want both. Good answer, good answer. Okay, now, do you want it to the corporation or you? You want it to you or the corporation? Come on. You or the corporation who's getting cash or credit? Okay, well, what's the answer? Come on, both. Okay, good. I got that. Corporation. Here's Charlie. All right, corp, taxes, everything. Okay, I understand. Now, let's watch this. Please watch it very carefully. Okay, if I gave you $1 million today, okay, you're going to go, hey, I don't piss it away and buy a house or car. No. Reference 3, please write down what I tell you to write down. I showed this to Warren Buffett about 40 years ago. He goes, whoa, that's pretty good. No rich and famous person allows their parent company to do business. You're all trying to do something that's never been done. You're all trying to do something that's never been done. Okay? You're all letting your LSEC Corp be a duck and a sheep. No rich and famous person allows their corporation to do business. You would name the LLC after you, dumb number 1. You named it after what it does, dumb number 2. It actually does business. What happens is very simple. Listen very carefully. If I reference 3 times 5, I take 1 million and turn it into 15 million of credit. I'm going to use credit to finance my business because I get to offset the taxes at all times. Credit, I can write off the interest rate in the credit card. And a corporation write it all off. Me, I can't do that for me. So what do? So if I had that 1 million in cash, I'm still going to reference 3 times 5 and turn it into 15 million of credit. So again, cash and credit both. What does this mean? Now, this is a gold card, American Express. Okay? The paid overtime limit is 100,000. It's unlimited. But here's the problem with American Express. They're good and bad. When you see these phony coaches out there saying it's 950,000, it's a lie. And then they change it because I caught them in their lie. Simple. So what happens? When you use the American Express card for $25,000 at any given time, if they allow you to do that, then they put you in financial review. Financial review. Understand that? Financial review. So they stop your card, they call you, and then they text you and email you. They do all the above. What happens? So what do we do? So if you think a card at American Express is going to give you $100,000, it's not going to do that. Not in the beginning, okay? And I'm going to show you how to get it if you want to, but it's up to you again. Now, let's write it down. Corporations do not pay tax till they're profitable. Corporations do not pay tax till they're profitable. Borrow money is not taxable. Borrow money is not taxable. So we want to get that 1 million to 15 to finance the business, offset the taxes. Okay? That offsets taxes. You're taxable when you're profitable. When you watch all the people out there rich and famous, they have corporations owning companies and businesses. Banks bankrupt what locations last year? 22,000 locations. Our banks were bankrupt last year. There you have American Express in the biggest lawsuit ever. Wells Fargo's in a lawsuit. Capital One's in a lawsuit. Because people sue these people because they're basically a bunch of hooey. We still got to deal with them. We still need balances on that as well. So a card at $25,000. Now here's a platinum card. So gold and platinum. Understand? Let's write down blueprint loan. Write down blueprint loans right there. Okay? American Express has a blueprint loan for $250,000. That's what it is. $250,000. Okay? So I understand how they work because I'm an affiliate. It's very simple. We deserve to get it too. Well, you deserve to get it right. That's right. Understand? They have a blueprint loan for $250,000. So I'm going to deal with their situation. And what happens? When American Express does this review, they want to log into a bank account. A bank account, they want to see 30 transactions. They want to see up to $100,000 a month for the blueprint loan. Okay? So what happens is we're going to do this for real. You have to understand something. Now, for me, my petty cash account of this organization, understand, I control right now over 600 corporations, by the way. Corporations, control. All right, these are divisions of corporations, all kinds of things. I control millions and billions of dollars. I'm a puppet master. I don't own anything. I'm not dumb enough to put something in my name. So what happens? Understand. So when they log into my petty cash account, and this is basically raised credits right there, okay? Petty cash last month, and we just got the statements this morning, 270,000, right there, 270, okay? Now the other account, because raised credit has too, here's 56,000, okay? These are petty cash accounts. Next account from there, all right, again, is 71,000. So here is $396,000, okay, at any given time. American Express wants to put me through a review. They do it all the time for this organization. Now I have the same thing in other organizations. Every organization and corporation we have petty cash accounts. Okay, and that's see, all these petty cash is the old blankety blank time. Oh crap, we got a problem. Oh crap, they broke in on March 11th and robbed my office, stole my cameras. Oh crap, our bank account was hacked. Oh crap, I had a 50,000 problem this week. Oh crap. Because I position myself planning the problem, I have a solution every time the world wants to kick my ass. If you had a $50,000 problem this week that I had, you'd probably be out of business or be broke or file a bankruptcy. See, you didn't plan the problem. You need to plan the problem because it happens to all of us, no matter if we're controlling millions and billions or a dollar or two. It happens to all of us. So the American Express Gold and Platinum cards, they will put you through review after $20,000 or more. Again, what happens? These phony people are going blah, blah, blah. See, the Platinum gives me the lounge at the airport and it gives me first class. No problem flying. All right, every 10,000 points gives me, what, $60. They pay for themselves. Everything else I don't care about. Now watch what happens. Come on, okay? This is the corporation at the top. The corporation at the top. This corporation here will have 18 divisions. 18 divisions. Let's understand this. 18 divisions. Good morning, good morning. So that's what we do. Now understand, You probably have LLCs, because everybody talks about LLCs. Okay, fantastic. The LLC was actually created by sole proprietor, if you don't know this. An LLC, there are 9 kinds of LLCs. So the sole proprietor became an LLC, but it's not a corporation. It's not a corporation, it's an LLC. All right, and it's a limited liability company. Then they talk about the 15 point what, all right, 3% tax. Then have your kids work there, you want, stop. Do you want long-term or a bunch of BS? Do you want long-term or BS? It's very simple. All right, put long-term, type long-term. Please put long-term. Unless you want BS, put BS. It's very simple. So you have to structure, finance, and dream. Structure, finance, and dream. Type it now. I'm not going to keep talking if you don't do it. Isn't that terrible? Long-term. Okay. All right, what does this mean? If I have my foundation, remember, a corporation cannot do business. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. Your corporation does not do business. It does not do business. It is a management company. It manages divisions. No rich and famous person allows their parent company to do business. Warren Buffett's parent company owns businesses. Buffett, okay? All right, Musk, Bezos, all right, Zuckerberg, everyone, all right, we do that. I won't put Cuban because I control more than he has anyway, and he's all full of duty anyway. He thinks he's all in a bag of chips anyway. So what happens? So what do we do? So understand, if I want long-term, my LLC will be converted to an S corporation under the 2553 or 1244 when I start making money. So let's talk about S Corp, okay? S Corp allows you and the corporation to file one tax return. I want things as clean as possible. I don't want to piss off the IRS or my creditors ever again. I want it nice, okay? S Corp. If you have a C Corp, it's double taxed, and they're going to tax you and the corporation, or you get a paycheck. No. You take S or C Corp, when you make money, turn it to S. Our focus will be S Corporation for the first $5 million. Is that okay? $5 million. Is that okay? We do $5 million a year? Well, the IRS says $5 million below a small company. So let's pretend, okay, you allow me to send you the mouse pad and let me turn around and basically coach you for the first $100,000 a month. Let me show you how to do it yourself. It's called You Do. If you want, we'll do it together. We do or I do. All right, that's what I've been saying for 40 years. All right, and for 50 years now, I've been coaching as well. Every day, I'm online a couple of times. Saturday's got 6 classes. One live in the morning, and then I have 5 classes from 7 o'clock in the morning all through the day. If you listen, I'll teach you more in one day you've ever learned in a lifetime. Okay? Here we have Pat coaching, okay? All right, I don't know what you coach, but the reality is me. I'm going to talk about law and accounting. I'm not here to be shape an attorney, but I'm going to get you to Maynard status. You see, at the end of the day, I'm from show me state. See, before I died in the coma in 2009, looking at Huntington Harbor, that UDOC, my house, my mansion, one of them, I'm controlling $2.2 billion in real estate through corporate structure. I think most people are full of crap. I think people say they're a coach. I think they're full of crap, in my opinion. Not all of them, but most of them. So what do we get to do? What if we basically focus on structure, dream, finance? Structure builds finance in the dream. So we do this correctly. What do we do? Okay? I already talked about Amex cards. I showed you the bank accounts that I give through the, what? They do the audit. They do what's called a financial review. No problem. What do we do now? If I have this card for the parent company, okay, that's 100,000 paid over time limit, 100,000, okay? This one's a gold card, same thing. So this is $200,000 of American Express cards paid over time limit. Now, the American Express for business is good. It doesn't show up on personal file. Okay, I like that. Now, your personal ones might, but it's like anything else. The gold and platinum cards do not fluctuate for personal use of my cards or my wife's cards because I don't want to bring the pain home and use the other cards. Because only dummies do that. You're not a dummy, but you've done it before. So what do? Let's focus. I can multiply. All right? I have, 5 girls and a boy. I have 6 kids. If you have children, understand something. I have babies. Corporations have babies. Okay? So what do? We create division process. If your LLC converted to S or C Corp to S Corporation, all right, at any given time when you start making money, you're going to manage 18 divisions. Write down 18 divisions. What does this mean? If you have a problem with the division, you're allowed to disconnect, isolate, incorporate, and throw it away. So again, I want you to protect yourself. I want you at all times planning the problem. I want you planning the problem at all times, okay? So you're going to understand what we need to do. LLC is converted to S. C is converted to S when you start to make money. You have 18 divisions. Your parent company here is going to manage divisions. The first 9 divisions, we're going to daisy chain credit. So let's write down daisy chain of credit. These cards for the parent company, we're going to daisy chain so every division gets these cards. Every division gets the cards. So if I have 10 of these cards, I have $1 million. I have 10 of these, that's $1 million. Got it so far? Now, at the same time, I like Chase Bank. Okay, Chase, basically for personal cards and business cards, there's no interest up to 22 months. There's a lot of accounts that do that too. So up to 22 months. This is Chase, this is $350,000 right here. 350, okay? These are all ink cards for the corporation. Here's 200,000. Here's 500,000 of credit, okay? 500,000. I daisy chain it to each division. So write down daisy chaining to each division. That means each division has its own, all right, 500,000 to $1 million of credit. Now, I'm an affiliate to 119 creditors. So I'm an affiliate to 119 creditors, and I think they're all but 10 of them. There's only 10 cards I'd ever want for my corporation in the first place. 1987, after I basically helped Yarborough and TRW, that's 1977. 1987, I created the dashboard that allowed tax ID on an application. This means when you see a cash application for business, it says ITIN, EIN, or SSN. I created that for that reason. So what do we get to do? So guess what? I've been around 50 years in the credit industry helping people structure the right way. So if I get 10 of these cards, 10, that I like for the corporation, it's $1 million per entity. But again, I don't want you to screw this up. So let's go slow and steady, slow and steady. So if I have this credit to the parent company, I would daisy chain it to each division. The way I designed divisions in 85, 86, because that's when it was approved. 84, okay, I own satellite television. All right, understand those big ugly antennas. I'm known as the king of satellite at the time. Manufacturing, distribution, retail store, installation. I'm doing $100 million in the businesses. Those corporations, not me, those corporations doing $100 million. I own some Shakey's Pizzas, 31 flavors, shopping centers, and Subways, and all kinds of stuff. California sent me a letter. You have to pay a franchise tax fee for each corporation. Okay. Today, franchise tax fee in California is $800 plus the officers, everything else. Just understand one thing. California is going to charge you $1,000 per LLC or corporation. So if you say you have 3 to 5 of them, that's a waste of money in my opinion. Okay, understand this. Very simple. I've watched the live for 200 minutes. Keep watching it, quit scrolling, and pay attention and rebuild your life your way. Okay? Returns to you to make from them. Okay? Well, essentially, we're going to get to that. What does this do? If we structure correctly, okay? All right? They wanted a franchise tax fee. That would have cost me $1.2 million for all the corporations because I had LLCs, corps, LLPs, nonprofit, professional corps, everything. Have them all. So again, that big spider mess became a problem. I did not want to pay $1.2 million franchise tax fee. So very simple. I went to basically what? I went to literally, okay, Sacramento, California. And I asked the question, can I create an entity under the LLC, S Corps, and pieces that doesn't pay franchise tax fee? Listen carefully. If you would pay attention and dissect things like I do, like the SS4. The SS4 can be used 26 ways. I explained that to Ted Turner when I was 9.5 years old, by the way. It's in the link tree, the SS4 for you. The SS4. It says employer, or it says entity in line 1, or individual person. So entity, what is it? Employer. Entity is a division, no problem, or basically an individual person like you. So what I created, I asked the question, I knew if I got the permission to do it, I'd create an entity under the corp that didn't pay franchise tax fee. Well, I got a permission to do this, create a form of modify, and this is basically one thing. This is basically in 1984. In 1985 and 86, division process became law in all 50 states. Just like when I created the form called assignment of mortgage, it became law in 89. Okay, I created a lot of things for the credit industry. I always have since 77. So again, what do? We understand how to play the game to win. So that means division process. I have 6 kids, 5 girls and a boy. So I had babies. Corporations can have babies. No rich and famous person ever allowed their parent company to do business. You're trying to invent something that has never been done. Because you're trying to make my LLC do business. No, it's not. C Corp. No, it's not. S Corp. No. Your corporation should be management company and a neutral name. Unfortunately, you name the LLC after you, come dumb number 1. You name what it does, dumb number 2, and you let it do business, dumb number 3. Your corporation should have been a management company. Okay, can one take $1 million loan out, then file for bankruptcy? Well, that's the intent to defraud. Go to prison. And I would testify, get you in a court of law because what you just said. So everything we do is being recorded. Everything we're doing is simple. So you just said the intent to defraud. Okay, so then maybe this program is not for you. Okay, I asked earlier for long term. 99% of people put long term. So if you want to be a crook, just go to prison and I'll testify, get you a court of law. I tell everybody that. You have the intent to screw my program? No, I'm not going to do that. So if you want to be a crook, then be a damn crook. All right, the bottom line is I don't want you to be a crook. You understand that? How much did you have, all right, until the investment? Well, again, what do you want to do? Let's go back to this because Alpha, you ask questions all the time. I hope you get into programs. Now what happens? If I build structure, finance stream. If I have my structure, I'm going to be an S Corp because I don't have to worry about unemployment, 15.3%. I can file the tax return with me and my spouse as an S Corp. See, you're allowed to be a lousy bookkeeper. Even the IRS can't give you crap if you commingle funds under an S Corp. But don't have the intent to be a lousy bookkeeper, okay? So the S Corp is the best thing you can have as a foundation to get to the first 5 million. 5 million. Got it so far? So if you want to get to 5 million, what do? Understand, this is a mouse pad that's on the screen. I'd like to send you one. Yes, this one's backward. We know that. The one on the screen is not. I'd like to send you one of these. And if in the link tree you understand that, you can request one or call the office as well. Very simple to do. Now, again, we talked about how they basically don't fluctuate. They don't show up on personal file. All credit for corporations does not show up on personal file, but Spark cards. The only card on planet Earth that shows up on a personal file, okay, is the gold, green, or blue Sparks from Capital One. Got it? So be careful, okay? These are good to actually build both credit reports on both sides if we need it. If we don't want to do it, okay? So what does this happen? If I take my American Express cards, they put me through the review many times, no problem. And what do I get to do? I get to basically use the card, okay, and use it for 100,000 paid overtime limit, 100,000, okay? If I daisy chain it per division, each division has its own credit files as I established it in 8586. So that means every division, all right, and corporation's allowed to get as many as you want to. This is 4 million. What would you do with 4 million of credit, okay? See, the biggest problem all of you have, especially you men, okay, you got your corporation, you tried this, blah, blah, blah. You made some money, you fell on your butt. You made some money, fell on your butt. You didn't build foundation, structure, and dream. You wanted the goodie. You wanted the million. I want to be a millionaire. No. Got the word no yet? If we take our S Corporation, have 18 divisions. Each division is going to have its own credit file. So each division, I don't care if it's the Chase Cars Inc., the 6 of those, and a bunch of these. Each division is going to have 100,000 of credit minimum. By the time I'm done with you in 36 months, you will have actually 10 million of credit. What if it's about a 501c3? That's a nonprofit. If you had a nonprofit 501c3, I'd have 3 divisions, 3 houses, and that's 300,000 of grant money per month. See, Evelyn, you've got the nonprofit, you got the golden dream in your hand, and hell, you know what you're doing with it. That's $300,000 on 3 houses per month called grant money forever, ever. See, there's your problem. All right, lack of knowledge brings the pain home. Structure, finance, stream, structure, finance, stream. My first corporation was called Helping Hand Industries. My divisions and subsidiaries were Teach Our Children. Nancy Reagan turned into their program. Okay, Orange County Blind Center as well. So again, I understand this very well about nonprofit 501c3s. Studied a lot of accounting my whole life. I'm not here to be basically CPA and attorney for you, but I will guide you and teach you what you need to do. Structure, finance, streams. If I have my corporation in every division, let's watch what happens. Credit cards build score to get more. Credit cards build score to get more. Like I said, credit cards build score to get more. Got it so far? If I get credit cards, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin. Okay? I invest in Bitcoin all the time as a division. I spend $50,000 on Bitcoin, no problem. If I lose, I write it all off. Okay? If I win, I still write it off because the gain offsets by the actual debt. I have lack of knowledge and want to learn. Keep learning and go to the classes tomorrow as well. Hey, I'll teach you for free. Very simple. But again, if you want us to help you, we have teams help you as well. So how do you get paid back? Well, understand. All right, if I have 50,000 in Bitcoin, and understand, and what I did is I took my reserve and I have 50,000. There's a card right there, business card. Okay, Bitcoin. All right, 50,000. If I gain and lose, I get to write off the gain and the loss no matter what we do, and I can fluctuate about 47%. Now, I can leverage this to pay for itself. Let's write leveraging money to pay for itself. I can borrow against it up to 90%. I can make it pay itself. But understand, let's use you as an example, because you're going to go, what, I can't stop it. Okay? Let's understand what happens. You waste $50 every other day or every day. That's $1,000 a month. The $50,000 is $281. $281. Can you afford that? If you screwed it all up, could you afford it? Again, the answer is yes. So if I had the cash credit cards, okay, I'm going to buy one division. Divisions are separate. This division is going to buy gold. This division buys silver. This division does stock trading. This division buys a storage unit. Okay? I want you to write down hard asset. Type hard asset now. Hard asset. I'm not going to go, and if you type it, simple. I stop every time if you don't do what I ask you to do. Hard asset. Write it now. Hard asset. Your problem, is you. Drive by the Wendy's restaurant. It's run by a management company. Why don't you own it? I bought my first Jack in the Box when I was 19 friggin' years old. Do you understand that? I was dumb enough to go there and think I was going to work there. I bought it, just like you, what you do. 3 days ago, what the hell am I doing here? It's run by a management company. I'm in their way. So the Jack in the Box was a management company. The Subway, same thing. The 31 flavors. I don't work there. I own them. Why don't you own them as a division like I do? See, if you create 9 divisions of finance, 9 locations, that is $100,000 what? Per month. What's the return on the Wendy's? Depends if you buy the whole damn thing yourself or you do it as a partnership investment. It depends what you're doing. I'll get to that in a second too. So understand, what do we get to do? Very simple. If we build structure, finance stream, you're going to get an income for the corporation forever and ever and ever. That asset is owned by and controlled by a division. Wendy's, storage unit, car wash, our apartment complex. The asset is owned by the division. You get basically one thing called a deed of trust. If you get a deed of trust, understand something. Very simple, please. You're getting a lot of nuggets. Kind of basically invest and just start of course you can. Now watch, okay, please watch. Okay, your goal is simple. If your corporation, S corporation, has 9 divisions of finance, 9 locations and something, or what do we do? Different types of business we do. Credit cards build score to get more. That's a Bitcoin, a stock exchange, whatever you want to do. Hard asset, you're using lines of credit. Write down checkbook money. Thank you for joining and basically tapping this live as well. Now, let's write down checkbook money. I didn't say anything. Why? I don't know how I keep getting these little restrictions. I didn't say anything. I said checkbook money. Ay. So again, somebody probably reported me because they don't like me. I don't know. All I know is simple. Checkbook money, okay, allows us to get a line of credit at the bank. The line of credit at the bank. Checkbook money. Checkbook what? Money. What does this mean? Every one of these is a line of credit in one of the 4 banks. If I basically, no name, TikTok is touchy. Yeah, I know. So what do we do? So understand this. Okay. All right, what do we do? I mean, again, I'm getting these warnings. I'm not saying anything. Okay? And that's what happens. So again, checkbook money allows us to get money as a line of credit at the bank. I'm not here to be seeping an attorney at all. Okay, I want you to understand. If B of A gives me a line of credit from $50,000 to $100,000, here we go. There's my line of credit. Okay. If Chase gives it to me, there you go again. If I get it at a U.S. Bank, again, that's what we do. Go again. If I get basically Wells Fargo again, that's what I get. Okay. So a line of credit gives us the ability to finance something. Now, what does that mean? If today we wanted to finance something, get a line of credit. See, what happens with most people with money, they kind of waste it or kind of piss it away. So what do? What if today you did what I wanted you to do? What if I gave you a folder or an email of 10 opportunities? Would you write a check for escrow? Would you write a check to escrow? Again, okay, 900,000 in credit, fine. We basically still have 20% interest fee on them. Well, that's what you have when you have your structure, okay? Chase doesn't have interest for 22 months. A lot of creditors don't give interest for up to 15 to 22 months. Again, as you structure this. But if it's a corporation, okay, do I care about the interest? Corporation basically offsets the taxes on the interest. It's like pay tax or pay interest. I'd rather pay tax. No, I'd rather pay interest. Corporation writes it off. So again, you got some choices. Your choice is very simple if you play the right way, but it's up to you. You can do whatever you want to do every day. Okay, what does that mean? Structure. Structure, finance stream, structure, finance stream. So if we gave you a project to do, what do? Very simple. All right, we have the ability to restructure ourselves if we listen and learn. But again, what you need to do for you is understand how we play the game to win. So would you write a check to escrow from a line of credit, all right, and get that basically whatever you bought or invested in, a deed of trust back to the division controlled by your corporation. Controlled by your corporation, and that's what it is. So the corporation, put the trash can back when they clean the place. Okay. So what do? Simple. We can build structure and finance in the dream. For instance, a lady the other day, it's very simple. She didn't want to listen 100%. So what did she do? Okay. See, some clients are kind of a pain in the ass. That's okay. So here's a client, I gave her $25,000 of credit. We closed escrow the other day. All right, out of the $25,000, I told her to put $20,000 in escrow, and you get about $2,500 a month forever. She didn't want to do that. She wants to do what she wants. Okay, she put $7,400 in the escrow. Okay, everyone else put $25,000 or $20,000. Their return. Understand, numbers never lie when people do. What does this mean? If you invest, okay, $20,000 in an escrow, and this is a group of people that bought a storage unit. Okay, they each get a deed of trust when it closes escrow. Now, here's what happens the way I signed it up, and you can do whatever you want. You can do it yourself as well if you want to. If we do it correctly. Now, what happens is you're using borrow money to get into an escrow. Borrow money. Okay, no problem. The escrow, the management company of that storage unit is what happens. Very simple. Storage unit. To me, storage units are dummy business. Any dummy can own it and leave it alone. It's ran by a management company. Okay, you drive by them every day. So here's the storage unit. Now, the management company that manages this facility, okay, verified everybody's investment into that, and what they do, because they pay the proceeds. They manage it, collecting the rents and whatever it is, and then they pay the proceeds to the investors on a monthly basis. The investors are a division tied to the S corporation, to the parent company. Now, the management company makes sure they pay this first. So before they give you any money, you've had to give them permission to pay the payment of the loan you put in to buy your piece. If you don't sign it, they don't let you play the game. So they're going to pay the bill first, okay? First. Let me push that and see if I can answer that. Okay. Let me screenshot it. Okay, no problem. All right, so we basically appeal it. So what do we, I don't know why I get a violation. I'm talking about checkbook money. Okay. All right, so hopefully that solved the problem. If not, Nick or somebody in the social media department will look at it as well. Okay. So if I invest, borrow money into an escrow, okay? Management company verifies if it's cash, okay, no problem. If it's a line of credit into an escrow, you wrote a check, they verify that. They pay the bill first, you get their leftover. Got it so far? So basically, you made it simple, because they don't want to. They don't want to trust you to pay it. They want it done first, because then the project doesn't suffer. They don't ever want a project to suffer, okay? Because if you default, they're going to go after and screw everybody up. So because it's an investment pool to buy, it's very simple. Now, this one client's a pain in the butt, okay? She only put $7,400 in, $7,400, okay? Her in return is $1,100 a month. That's it, $1,100 a month, forever, forever, forever. I like to buy things and keep it forever. I don't want to ever sell anything, but again, I'm a puppet master, okay, in every project, and I basically control them all. I'm in every project there is. How many partners? It depends what the project is. Let me finish talking, okay? Alpha, you're always basically blah, 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 okay? Listen, you need to learn the answer before you ask the question. So, in this project for the storage unit, she put $7,400 in it. Her return is $1,100 forever. Numbers never lie when you people do. What happens? If I put there and the other people put $20,000, their return is $2,900. Listen carefully, $2,900. Okay, listen carefully. Out of the $2,100 each they get, they maintain the payment. So that means they retain about $2,500 a month because the payment's being made. Okay, I'm just taking rough numbers for you. So, all right, they put $20,000 in a project. Escrow got closed. Management company gives you $2,100. They take it to up to $400 or $500. Maintain the payment, no problem, and you're left owes $2,500 forever. So that means very simple. For the rest of the life of the corporation and divisions, that division owns the storage unit. They have a deed of trust, and it's an ownership. So what happens? Very simple. So the lady gets $1,100 because she only put $7,400 in it. She bought an income. What happens? The other ones get $2,500 because they put $20,000 in it because based on percentage. So it's like anything else. And I have a project that I'll put more money than the other people in because then they get their less percentage. Numbers have never lied to me. Only people do. And that's the thing that it scares me all the time. So again, based on positioning, what project would you like? And I'll give you 10 opportunities, usually an ongoing basis if you're in coaching. If you're not in coaching, get it on your own. I'll build your credit and everything else, teach you how to do it all. Do it on your own. You want me to line you up? Hell, I'm not doing that for free. Okay, I'm the #1 consultant worldwide. I'm going to be in a project. I'm going to build you up. You better get into that coaching program. That's how it works. So what happens is very simple. We want to make sure everything is transparent from there. Okay? So the bottom line is this, you're not, well, the difference is being transparency is the escrow company, each project. Okay? When you're going to say Jesus is watching it, God watches us all. Okay? I've had enough of you. All right? Even it's just a pain in the butt. Let's remove you. Okay? All right? You don't deserve the knowledge because you're always being a turd. I try to help this turd all the time. I don't like turds. Okay? We just remove them. So, when you're in escrow, they're divulging everything to you, what you need to do. Again, all right, I want to get into coaching, all you have to do is call the specialist right there. See, what's going to happen in about 2 hours from now, okay, right now it is 4:39 in the morning, okay? So what does this mean? You'll have the first team that shows up. You can call and say, I want to talk about coaching, 800-254-9506. When I give you a folder of opportunity, it's very simple. All right, it means to say this storage unit here. Okay, 4 people get in this one. Okay, this is a car wash, okay? Now, let's understand what it means. This car wash is a do-it-yourself, okay, based on proceeds. It gets profit of $26,000 a month. Okay, it's $500,000. So what happens is very simple. $26,000 dollars a month, that's what it makes after the bills. It's run by a management company. Very simple. So out of that $26,000, does one person want all 26 a month? Or do we divide it by several people? See, that's how it works. So again, based on a project you look at, you'll decide, and I'll give you some suggestions, what you can do as well. But it's going to be up to you. Okay? So there you are, very simple. So this is $500,000. But it gets $26,000 a month after the bills are paid. Okay. Do I put one person in it? If they want to write a check for $500,000 or put a down payment on it, it's seller finance. Do I put more people? All right, if we put 2 people in a project, then we divide the $26,000. 4 people, 6 people. See, every project is different. You customize projects based on who's available at that time to invest. Okay, and then from there, escrow. The reason you do escrows, you want to make sure everybody sees what's happening. They certify everything you're trying to do. Escrows are very clear, very simple as we play this game. So what do? The ultimate goal is what in this project. So during that week, basically, I had 6 people wanted to play. So again, what do? You take 6 people divided by 26,000. All right, what do we put? So each project's different. So you have to customize what happens, okay? And Wendy's restaurant's different. Most of the Wendy's that we ever get into an escrow, okay, is usually $1 million in down payment. So we put, say myself, 100,000, I write a check for escrow off of a line of credit. So I write a check for one of my lines of credit, or 100,000. None of the people do the same thing. So if we put 10 people in a Wendy's restaurant, okay, usually the Wendy's restaurant's gonna give everybody about 10,000 a month. Wendy's can make literally $100,000, $1 million a month. So we divide it by the 10 people. So it depends. Now each project. Escrow certifies income, certifies there's no, cookbooks or whatever, and it's a clear project. So as you do things, again, it could be another car wash. I like car washes. I like storage units. I like gas stations that have a store. If you go to the Garco, the owner's not there. It's a management company. So again, what do you have? You have an investment group into a project. For instance, this one was 2.1 million. Okay, people got in there, and it's very simple. They each got 8,000 a month income. So we divided by the people. What we needed is a down payment. Okay, and that's what we did. So you get every person put in $32,000. What it is. So we actually do a sheet, and we basically show what's happening 100%. If you want to join my escrow, it's very clear, and you're going to have every step of the way and understand exactly. It's as clear as day. The difference is you decide to do it. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. Do it on your own. That's why I developed the system. You do, we do, I do. You do, we do, I do. Very simple. All right, that's all we have to do is understand how to play the game. If I buy a laundromat, is a laundromat basically managed company? I look at management companies, okay? So a management company is what you want to look at as you process this. So it's very clear exactly what happens. No one's hiding anything from anybody. All right, it is so transparent. All right, Alpha, because you keep coming back. It's very simple. Okay, I don't think you deserve my knowledge. You always be very difficult. Okay, because you always interrupt when I'm trying to talk about something when I'm going to give you the answer in the first place. That's okay. Okay, our choice is very simple today. If you listen and learn, the income is based on what you put into it. Okay, if you call a specialist, you get assigned to a specialist. Make sure you're assigned to a specialist. That's your point person. If you have a point person that can guide into the paralegal team, the legal department, the division process, their corporation setup, what pieces you're missing, they can help guide you. Now, the goal would be this, and I send mouse pads to everybody for free and I pay for them. Why? Why not? My goal is to help people get to the $1 million dream. That's what it is. So this is very simple, okay? This, you have the ability, and I send mouse pads to everybody. Yes, I know this one's backwards. This one's not, okay? So again, if you want a mouse pad, you go in the link tree and you just request a mouse pad or call your specialist. Very simple. I want you to focus on the dream. I want you to focus on getting the reality of life. It's structure, finance, and dream. You're not going to get what I teach anywhere on this planet besides for me. I'm sorry. All right. I see what I call circus clowns all the time. Now, another project we close on the same day. Okay, it's very simple. All right, this project was basically simple. We put people in the project, and they put money into the project. What does this mean? So we closed 3 escrows the other day. Project 2, they put $75,000 in the escrow, $75,000. So here's my rules and tools for all of you to understand. If I help you build $50,000 of credit, checkbook money, line you up at the bank, or blueprint loan, $50,000, you're allowed to basically invest $25,000. I don't want you maxing yourself out. There's no reason to max yourself out at all, ever, ever, ever. Okay? So again, 10 partners, yeah. But it depends on the Wendy's, okay? One of the Wendy's only got the people $6,000 a month based on location. So again, this is all disclosed to you so you understand what your income is going to be, but you're using borrow money. The borrow money, all right, is paid back from the management company, and then you have the leftover. Leftover simple. All right, and the next one the other day. So they invested $75,000 in an escrow. Remember, $50,000, $25,000, $75,000, $50,000, $175,000, or $150,000, $100,000. You never max out the credit because the difference, you never want to do that to yourself or the company or the corporation division process. So what do we get to do? So they invested $75,000. The payback is $7,900, $7,900. But after they pay the bill for that, they were paid back on a monthly basis about $7,400. This is all disclosed in writing and you approve it. That's how it works. So that's how it works every step of the way. Every one of the things you want to do is going to be up to you. Very simple. As we play this game to win the game of business. So $7,400 is what their income is. But again, it's to the division. Every division is tied to the parent company. Every division is tied to the parent company. So if you have 9 lines of credit, 9 divisions, and 9 locations and something, that's how you accumulate up to $100,000 a month. Parent company never does business. It should not do business. No rich and famous person ever let their parent company do business. They own businesses, and that's the goal. They own a business, and that's the ultimate goal for all of us. So what do? So if we do this correctly, so what happens in a coaching program as you do this, all right, you get a coaching every 4 weeks. We're on the phone. You have classes. You have all these things you get to do, and you're being handheld the whole time, pretty much. And that's the goal because you have the ability to listen and learn. Unfortunately, most of you have been falling down. You brought the pain home, and the reality is you didn't have rules, tools, and structure. Okay? I just lost my position. I laid off. Here's a solar company in California. Well, sorry you lost your job. Let's find an opportunity. If you had a nonprofit, maybe you can do one of those real quick and get grant money. All right? Or maybe you want a different job. I don't know if you love your job. The reality is what you want to do is going to be up to you. So there's ways to do things as well. All right, I always tell people, hire yourself. All right, get past this situation. Can I? All right, the difference is it depends on what you're trying to do. Talk to a coach. Sorry you lost your job. The difference is maybe it's an opportunity. Okay? Maybe God's opening another door for you, but that's up to you as well. Okay? So as we play this game as well. So every project is very simple as we lay it out for you. But that's if you're in coaching. If we're just building your credit, you do it on your own. Do it yourself, no problem. So I designed the system so you do, we do, I do. Thank you for the hearts and the loves. I really appreciate that. So my 19th week on TikTok, all right, trying to help people all the time and explain things. Today at 3 o'clock, we have a class, analyzation. You might want to go there too. Tomorrow, we have classes all day. I'll be online 3:15 in the morning. And then at 7 a.m., I'll have 5 classes through the day, helping everybody for free. The bottom line is that you learn to play the game to win. The ultimate goal is very simple if you want to multiply it. Remember, Amex cards are great, but they also do the review, financial review, when you go after spending $25,000. So if you do this correctly, you can multiply it, and that's the goal when that blueprint loan comes in place, or the loan at the bank. I call this loan and the other loan checkbook money. So your LLC comes to S because you're making money, C Corp double tax, S Corporation as well. So the goal is to have the foundation, structure, dreams. It's 18 divisions. Each division builds credit. Each division can have another division owning an asset. You're welcome. You're welcome. I love all the loves. Okay? So what happens is very simple as people listen and learn. Remember, your personal credit, all right, use utilization correctly, oldest card, all the things we talked about earlier, but do yourself a favor. These books are free to everybody. And they're you can buy them somewhere else. That's up to you. But again, why don't we get them download for free? Winning the credit game will help you rebuild your credit. You don't have to hire a credit repair company. All right, starting out right for the kids and for the grown-ups to understand credit in the first place, since I helped set up the system in 87. Or actually, 1977, sorry. All right, now the other project I was going to get to is the third project. Now, these people were more aggressive, but they already had other projects they went through. So what happens, I guide them through the process, and we talk about it in the project as we go into an escrow. So the goal is we break it down into steps and rules and tools. Now, the third one is everyone put $100,000 in the escrow. Out of the $100,000 escrow, what do? Okay, their return is $11,240. Okay, after the payment's done, their return is $96.40. Okay, so again, let's just round it off, say $9,000 or $10,000 a month. But that's to the division, okay, not to you. That means the division made money, and that's what the ultimate goal is. So each division has the ability to roll the dice, own an asset, okay, and that's how we do it. So the bottom line is understanding how to play the game as well. So if we do this correctly, what do we get to do? We structure, finance, and dream. So that's why I always want you to ask me for a mouse pad, let me send it to you. Very simple. Now, the next question would be, all right, do we want to create $100,000 of income, okay, per month? So if we want $100,000 of income, it's very simple. MVP, Mr. Reynolds. So thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, 90% of people love what I do. Sometimes maybe nobody likes me and everybody likes you kind of thing. It's just the way it works, unfortunately. So what do? If I have my LLC become S, a management company, and I have my C become S management company, my goal should be 100,000 a month for the corporation to grow. If I leverage money into millions and millions, I can do that as well. But it's very simple as we play this game to win. But again, it's not your money. Remember something, please. The income you build on the division is not your money. I'm a puppet master. I control millions and billions all the time. I've done this for 50 plus years. But again, life has its ups and downs. They robbed my office on the 11th that night after we went to the school and gave thousands of dollars worth of bugs. Stole our cameras. I got a bank account hacked. I had an email went out by mistake. What happened this week, I had $50,000 of problems. What do? If you have everything set up, all I do is plan the problem. You just move money around, solve your problem. That's the goal that all of you need to learn about how to do this correctly. What's not to like about you? You're an honest and God-fearing man. Well, the guy before is a jerk, okay? He's being mean to me. What do? All right, this is free, okay? So the bottom line is I'm going to always go God found me money. I'm also a licensed pastor in California, by the way. So I'm just always trying to help people. That's what I've done for 50 years. I've been online or in person for 50 years, 6 days a week, donating my time to help people. I haven't had a paycheck in 40 years. Why would I want one? But I have everything I want. If I want to just go get it. So this is your future. This mouse pad is your future. You focus on this. You focus. Because that's what you should have done a long time ago. Unfortunately, no one teaches you how to play the game. It's a game of business. That's what we're going to do. Game to play. What if your personal credit profile is really messed up? Score is really bad. Okay, again. All right, Shay, you can do a division of yourself if you wanted to. If you looked in the link tree today, in the link tree, you'd find the S is 4 form. The S is 4 is 26 ways to use it and not abuse it. It'll say employee at the top, employer. Line 1 says entity, that's a division. And also it says individual person. If you're rebuilding your credit yourself, okay, and that's what I want you really to do, or go to class and let me help you on that too. Rebuild your credit. Why don't you set up a division under your corporation under tax ID? You could start a brand new file correctly as a division of me. A division of me eventually can actually circumvent you and guarantee things you do anyway. So it gives another opportunity. You see, when it comes to your personal credit, I want you to basically call the office to assign to a specialist, but I want you to think about something. Because this is the Ray Reynolds Blueprint Live, that's why I want you to blueprint yourself. Blueprint yourself all the way. Simple. What do? Your credit's not good? Download the books. Take your credit cards and utility bills, do paperless, okay, automatic payment, make an extra payment on a weekly basis on your credit cards or bi-weekly. All right, put yourself in a wrap rescore. So, for instance, your credit's not good. Is it a utilization problem or you screwed up something? It's very simple. If you're in a rapid rescore today, it would push your score up. Why do I want it to go up? I want green lights. What do I want green lights? I want you to get other credit cards that you reduce your debt to ratio. See, it's going to take credit to finance your way out of your crap and problem you did. So I have to use credit to finance my problem and get out of it because I didn't do it the right way in the first place. And that's what it is. The link tree is right below. If you need help, call the office. They'll help you as well. So what happens is you can use credit to refinance your dream because you got to get your debt to ratio at 29% or below. So what do? If your score went up today, it's opportunities to get another credit doing a balance transfer. It'll take credit to reduce your debt. You can increase limits or pay it down. Yeah. Where'd that come from? Okay. So you can increase your limits or pay it down. If we have to get more credit, the credit will let us do balance transfers. See, you have to get to that point that you understand it at 29% debt to ratio. So our goal is very simple as we do this correctly. So you have to repackage yourself. I just don't want you to have credit repair. Why? Because I think, well, you're going to get ripped off. I'm sorry, credit repair is a fraud. Okay? See, when you're trying to repair your credit, it means you didn't pay your creditor and you ripped off your creditor. That means you're a crook. That's not good. Credit repair, they're supposed to be licensed and bonded, nonprofit 501c3, not collect money up front, and register the Attorney General's office, and none of them are doing it right. But again, because they're trying to trick the Bureau of something not being accurate. Well, I wrote the book called Prove It or Remove It years ago, and I helped set up the system. Winning the Credit Games right here. It's a free download for you. Okay? It's free. So get it for free. Save yourself $100. Simple. All right? Understanding credit is starting out right. Free. That's the ultimate goal for all of us. Okay? Well, it depends on the location, on the Wendy's restaurant. We have clients on a Wendy's restaurant. They basically bring 100,000 a month. We have them bring 40. We bring 60. All right. It depends on the project. Depends on who's basically how much debt they have on it. They take over. Depends if the Wendy's owns the land, the building, and the assets inside. See, all these things are basically brought down in pieces. That controls how much money you're going to get. We had one escrow last year get screwed up. Okay. Why? Because the seller lied. He said he didn't have as much debt as he had. Escrow found out there was more debt on a UCC1 he didn't disclose. That's why you go through escrow. You want to make sure everything's transparent to everybody. So again, we're in this project. All right, we're all going to, and now instead of $6,000 a month or more, we're going to get $1,000. So we went back to the people investing. You want out of this escrow? Let's move your deposit to a different escrow. They asked me my opinion. What's my opinion? I know that debt that he had, I can wipe out the debt after we close escrow. Okay? And they said, let's go through the project. We're already in escrow, ready to close escrow. Within 90 days, I wiped out that $100,000 worth of debt, and we brought it to $6,000 a month. As we did other positioning, what did I do? I got more income for everybody to get $10,000. See, every project is how you want to do things as well. Can you be in a project if your credit debt isn't clear? Well, yes, you can, but again, all right, at the same time, I still want you to be a good CFO. Here's a problem. If I got you to corporation, LLC, LLP, and you did to the S corporation, and I did a division of you could finance the whole thing and have bad credit. But the problem you have bad credit, you have a problem over here. This problem can backfire and basically want to put a lien over here. Okay? Depends on your project. Depends on what you're doing. So if you don't put yourself back on track and check, I think you left a problem you need to take care of. One of the other escrows, because I just talked about escrows since '87, is the lady was going to get basically $7,000 a month. All right, it's going to go up, no problem. Everybody closed escrow, and she got basically $2,200. Pissed off, this livid. She's not listening, okay? Why do I get this? Where's my money? Okay? Ma'am, the IRS, all right, liened your escrow. You lied and said you didn't have a tax problem. You do have a tax problem. If you would have did an offer in compromise prior to this, you would have solved your problem, but you lied to the whole team. You lied. So let's understand something, okay? She got $2,200 a month instead of $7,000 plus. Then I had to show her 656 form. How did you offer in compromise and solve a problem? All right, you're back to her in the corner, but she's blaming me. It's my fault she had a tax problem. See, the problem with this world today, some people blame other people for their stupidity. It was her problem, not mine. So I still helped her and got her to that point. Then she wanted to go in the next project. I said, no, thank you. Do your own. I don't want to have someone lie to us that had a tax problem because you got lean and you want to blame me for everybody else. It's everybody else's fault. So I told her, you have to learn to be responsible. So I don't want you to not take care of your past problems. I don't want those past problems chasing your future. Because if it does, then you're going to blame someone else. Okay, I don't want to be blamed for your whatevers. So if we did this correctly today, it's very simple. The ultimate goal for all of it is you share the live. See, most of you right now haven't been sharing the live. You should share the live. You should be helping other people and help me. I've been only on TikTok for 19 weeks now. 66,000 followers. That's great in the first 17 weeks. But again, share the live. But what do you get to do? You get to help other people. Do you think that, I'm trying to just help you? I want to help everybody's life. I want to change the lives, okay? I want to make sure it's very simple, okay? And an escrow. That's why I always make sure that basically we look at you, put you as a CFO for family. I'll say God, family, money, God, family all the time. If you're a CFO for a family, you're in check, you understand how to bring the pain home. Okay, what does he do on the other side? The corporation, LLC, okay, turns into S, C Corp S. Now we manage divisions. Divisions are very simple. All I know is a division screws up, I can disconnect, isolate, and throw it away. Your name's not on a division, the way I designed it. Banks bankrupt 22,000 locations last year. They bankrupt 22,000 locations last year. Bankrupt. So I don't think you paid attention to this. The asset and the money stayed in the parent company. No parent company does business. No parent company does business because it owns businesses. And it's like everyone doing all these LLCs kind of circus stuff. It's like you're not listening. The world doesn't do what you're trying to do. You're trying to create something that's never been done because it's not going to work. Your parent company needs to be an S corporation managing divisions, period. If you don't do that, you do your own thing. Go for it. How's it working for you? All right. 90% of you today are men. Men. You have failed 5 times plus. You brought the pain home 5 times because you didn't have structure, finance, and dreams. 10% of the females, and they just go get the money. So understand how to build what? The foundation. Structure builds foundation and dream. It's never changed. I've been teaching and preaching for 50 years, 6 days a week. Where the blank have you been? It's up to you again. We have a choice today. The choice is very simple. If we want to basically change our lives, we have to repackage ourselves in the places or pieces we're missing. We have to repackage ourselves. Simple. We have to understand your personal credit, you're a CFO. You have to stand the corporation as your CFO there. You're a double CFO. But you have to protect your assets and your family. That's what you have to do. You have no choice but to do that. Now, my favorite is not just Wendy's, okay? I'd rather have a storage unit. Storage units to me are for dummy business. They're for dummies. You own it, you do nothing. Maybe somebody runs it. It's the easiest thing in the world. All right, please tell us 1 million Wendy's with 10 partners, each 100,000 investment returns, 10,000 more. All right, total right. Well, that is right. But again, I've had 40,000, 60,000, all right, 100,000. It's divided by the people you put in the escrow. That's what it is. So understand, if you're in a coaching program and I give you opportunities, and I usually try to give you 10 opportunities, we have $5 billion in literally going in escrow this year, $5 billion. So what do? Your choice is which one do you want? But again, before you pick a choice, what line of credit do we have? How much line of credit do we have? All right, do we have a blueprint loan from Amex for $250? Do we have these at 50 or 150? What is the deposit you can put into an escrow? That's going to depend on what you put into it. I have clients that put basically, there's an escrow we're playing with the other day, okay? Everyone's putting 100,000 in it. One person wants to put 150, okay? If we put 150 versus the other ones, you have to pull someone out because there's not enough money to spread. We make sure it's a numbers game. Numbers are simple. So I said to another person, would you put 150 as well? So they each put 150, so basically the numbers made sense. So we pushed one person out of that escrow. Okay, what happens? Because the income we want to do is based on the numbers we put into it. You'll hear me say a million times, numbers don't lie, only people do. That's the goal. And so an invest alone is $2,000 a month. Well, depends what you're looking to do. Like I said, the one lady did $7,400, she got $1,100 a month. That's forever, okay? And that's what she gets. She should have put more into that. But again, every time we did something, she would, let me think about that. Let me do this. No, let me think about it. I don't know if I want to do that. So stop. I got to the point, no, you don't need an escrow. You need to basically get your act together because you're driving us nuts. Okay, what happens? It's up to you as well as we play this game to win. See, your choice is very simple. Do it on your own. Okay, you're all on your own today anyway. I think you brought the pain home 5 times, 10 times, and I think you men, you scare your wife out all the time. Ah! She's counting on you to be that provider and that what? The hero. Simple. If you're married. If you're not, the ladies just go get it. So what happens is the wives is like, you tried 3 times, honey. What about the next one? They're so doubtful it's going to work. So like you being doubtful in yourself because why? How many times have you failed? You haven't really failed. You kept trying. That's not failure, okay? But again, how many times did you make it work as an auto income? If you own the Wendy's restaurant or the storage unit or car wash today, that's an income. That Wendy's restaurant's been there since you were 10 years old. So is that storage unit. So why don't you buy something that's an auto income process and gives you money all the time versus what you've been doing? You might want to be an entrepreneur and invent something. You want a clothesline or makeup or whatever, that's fine. But until you get auto income, paying your bills, I think you have a problem. I think you take too many chances out. Speaking only about the Wendy's, well, I like other things as well. Jumping around for us, on the $1 million Wendy's. Well, you need $100,000 line of credit. Okay, you need 150. You need 250. You have to realize borrow money, buy in the project, or invest into the project is how you get your return. I mean, you go look on your own. Go buy a Wendy's restaurant today. all right, buy an existing one's back $1 million down, seller finance. That's what your goal is. But how about a storage unit? How about a laundry? How about a car wash? Something out there that creates an auto income managed by a management company. You have all kinds of subways, but I wouldn't buy a subway. I used to own a bunch of those as well. To me, they're not the greatest investment today, but that's up to you. Maybe the location is. Every location is based on what you're trying to do. So again, it's very simple. So invest 100,000. I wouldn't want to be 1,000 each month. Well, the difference is the investment, you get to decide. You sign off on it. No escrow closed. I mean, kind of, you bought a house before. Some of you, of all of you, you don't sign the bottom line until you know what you're doing, right? But unfortunately, because you bought your house, escrow closed, you didn't do homestead or trust. So that's what it is. So again, it depends on the location. Not every location is going to work 100% for that 100,000 a month. Why? Because I said you want break it down in pieces. I like car washes, do it yourselves. I like gas stations with stores. A gas station with a store, it's like $1 million+ or more. The difference is it's going to bring a lot of money. No one's managing ARCO besides a management company. So if you do this positioning, you decide what you want. But again, do it on your own then. Okay, it's very simple. You can do it on your own all day long. That's why I always say, you do, we do, I do. If I'm in coaching, I'm going to give you opportunity. You might not like any of them. Then don't do them. Do your own. Do your own. No one's forcing you to pick an escrow. I'm just giving you the ability to finance the escrow that you do, I do. Simple. And what happens is I'm in every escrow. I've always been in every escrow. Why? Because I don't want you to hurt yourself. Plus, I also want a piece of everything. I want to add it to the billions and billions of dollars that we do as a puppet master. I don't own anything. Why would I do that? So let's do this. Let's understand a couple things. Now, today, if you share the live, get into the link tree. 800-254-9506. Very simple. Be assigned to a specialist. If you needed your credit score go up, you do a rapid rescore. It's very simple. Rapid rescore blocks crap, pushes the scores up. That's all it does. The possibility of green lights. You get a card to do balance transfer, pay down your debt to ratio to 29%. I mean, I set that rapid rescore back in the 70s and 80s to help people close escrows. And this is what he did, to close an escrow. And because in escrow, you're not supposed to get an inquiry back then. Even now, you can't go in. But the problem back then, when you had a deposit in an escrow, if you didn't go through in the escrow, you forfeited your deposit. So that wasn't nice back then. But again, what do? Escrow close, homestead, finance, simple. Escrow close, all right, homestead, irrevocable trust. Credit, simple, 29% below. All right, automatic payment, paperless, call the number to opt out. From there, we're going to rapid rescore, push our score up to 750, and you maintain that because these do not fluctuate. These are emergency cards. You have a bad day? What do? You jack up the American Express Gold or Platinum. Why? Because they don't fluctuate. The other cards you jacked up, you screwed up, you backed yourself in a corner. I don't want you to back yourself in a corner. Share the life, share the life, share the life. That's the ultimate goal. All right? So basically, as you do things, okay? Finally, see what I see. Okay? Well, the reality is you see what you want to see. It's going to be up to you. Okay? Escrows. If I give you 10 escrows to think about in coaching, you decide what you want. Oh, I don't like these this week. I'll look at next week. I give you the broker's list of where to find your own escrows. Like 2 people who lost their job today. I do a nonprofit yesterday. I get an exemption. Why? That's grant money. If I have a 501c3 exemption, I go to the city today and find out what they have they're trying to donate to our nonprofits. The city has housing or properties. They're trying to have auctions. They give it to a nonprofit that's real. That's grant money. You can fix it up, have an income. You could hire yourself to a nonprofit process in 90 days or less as you're trying to find your own job, but it's up to you. There's so many ways to do this if you follow through. That's the goal. Follow through. It's structure, finance, and dreams. Now let's ask you a question, okay? Who wants $1 million of credit? Who wants $1 million of credit? Let's do this, okay? Come on. If you want $1 million of credit, okay? All right, my goal is what are you going to do with $1 million of credit? It's a numbers game. So the $1 million of credit, again, I'm going to break it down in pieces. If I have $1 million in cash, I'm going to reference 3 times 5. I'm going to leverage it into more money, okay? So we got to understand something. Credit is great to finance a business. Cash is good as king or queen, but cash can be referenced 3 times 5, and that turns into more money. If I have $1 million of cash, referenced 3 times 5 turns to $50 million. Business should be run basically and built on credit. It offsets the taxes. Taxes are due. What happens when you profit? You got to pay tax. But if you have debt, it offsets the taxes. Corporations don't pay tax till they're profitable. If we use borrowed money, we get to win the game. We win the game. So if we wanted $1 million to now, all right, understand something: structure, finance, and dream. So again, all right, I'm live many times a day. Saturday I have classes all through the day as we play this game to win. The ultimate goal is to play the game to win. But this is Ray Reynolds Blueprint Live, and that's what it is. So I answer the questions all the time as we do this as well. Paycheck. Well, if you're an S Corp, understand something. You have to get a reasonable compensation. Reasonable. That's why I want you to be an S Corp. The LLC says you have a 15.3% unemployment tax, and all these silly people out there say, pull the draw, have your kids work there. To me, that's a bunch of hooey. The S Corporation, yeah, you're going to get your K-1, that's what happens. And then basically from there, they work in conjunction in W-2. See, if you understand the S Corp, you get a paycheck that helps you break even. Break even, is that okay? Break even. So the bottom line is very simple as we do this process, okay? So as we want to win the game, okay? Always winning the game of business. So as we do this, okay? All right, so guess what we do? This is very simple. No, actually, my birth name was Dana Ray Reynolds. I changed it just Ray because I didn't like being a girl's name in Gardena and Watson Torrance because you had to kick assets and had to run, and I didn't want to run, okay? So if you want to look at that, you look at that as well. So if you're going to bring up my first name, at least do that right because I go by Ray. I went to court and actually changed it to that, okay? What kid wants a girl's name? This guy wants to keep bringing up my everything else, okay? All right, he's a bully. What can you say? But again, what do? Okay? Having a silver tooth and have a girl's name and going to school at Watts Torrance, Long Beach, you have to learn to run and kick it. I just learned to kick it. Simple. So again, I made sure I went to court and said, I want to use my middle name as my primary. That's simple. That's what I did. Okay? Well, it's a girl's name. I felt it was a girl's name. But everybody turns around and says, no, Dana Andrews. So the bottom line is, as a kid, and remember, I was born in a taxi. The letter that I got basically when I was 3 years old was, your mother put you in a trash can after you're born in a taxi. Your first name is Dana. Your middle name is Ray. What do you do with that? What would you do? I went to school. I went to the library, study again and again. So there's always somebody trying to be a bully to bring up my first name as Dana. Hey, I don't hide it, simple. My first name is not Dana. Went to court and changed it. I actually deleted that first name because I always thought it was a girl's name. Try to go to school with a girl's name, okay, with the buck teeth, all right, and go to school in Watson Torrance. You're going to get tough, or you're not going to be around. So I've been shot 3 times. I've been knifed 6 times, and I fought through the pain. So thank you for bringing up something I tuck away. But it's very simple, okay? All right, I don't like the name Dana. Never did, never will. It taught me one thing, kick assets. But I also have 12 national kickboxing titles, been in martial arts since I was 4. It kind of pissed me off. So guess what we do? So again, thank you for bringing up a negative. All right, really good, okay? So what do? All right, yes, I had the fastest kick in the world too, all right? And highest kick. I'm sorry, well, you're not sorry. You're a jerk. Simple. So what do? So what do you do about your life? My life is very simple. People always say, do you sleep? I get 3 hours of sleep. Why? Because as a kid, I was used and abused, okay? I wanted to have hell. You see, I woke up and based on being used and abused as a kid, 2.5 years old, looking in the mirror. I'm crying on the floor. Got it so far? All right, I realized I had to get up at 2:25 in the morning so the abuser couldn't get me. So my life's been hell. Ignore the jerk. Well, I'm going to have to answer the jerk because he's writing jerk stuff, okay? You have to answer it. Again, what do? So for me, I got up at 2:25 my whole life. When I started TikTok and social media, literally 19 weeks ago, for some reason, I started waking up at 1:15 in the morning. I don't know if it's excitement or whatever. So what do? So very simple. All right, 1:15, I get up every day now. I get my 3 hours sleep. This is all I've ever needed, okay? So that's just me. So I get bored when I wake up. I'm so bored, it's ridiculous. Okay, that's why I wanted to go on TikTok. I did it at fun the first time. I didn't, really, sorry. I wasn't looking to go on TikTok. Sorry, I wasn't looking to go on it. I did it for fun to see what would happen. I realized there's actually serious people being lost and lied to. I realized these people out there are not telling them the truth. Ride off your Rolex? Give me a break. When I went to the jewelry store, I bought $12 million all right, of jewelry at the same time. I bought $4 million of Rolexes, but I didn't use my money. Okay, very simple. What did I do? I had fun understanding what we need to do. Simple. See, I want to invest in something. Okay, I want to understand how it works. I need 5 or 6 hours. I need 3. Okay, 4 after 4 it gives me a headache. By the way, so it's like every day I'm bored as can be. I'm one of these guys. If I'm not busy, I'm bored as can be. My wife says retire, watch TV. I don't like TV. Okay, I watch the news. I like that. That's about it. Anything else? I watch golf. I don't like sports. Why would I want to waste time being instead of this box? I got to be active. I got to be active. That's just me. Okay? So guess what we have to do? Understand structure. Because the way God let my life be, mommy, daddy, and all that crap, I've been your example for the world for 50 years plus. Teaching and preaching 50 years, 6 days a week. So it gives me the ability to understand, what is my purpose? See, every one of you have to find your purpose. What is your purpose? Why in 2009, I took my yacht in my backyard, Huntington Harbor, largest U-Dock, my yacht in the backyard, all my goodies. Why did God allow me to die in a coma? Okay, my tax guy stole my $3.7 billion. Why did he do that? Why did he allow my office, Irvine Specter, and 22,000 building my other buildings, controlling $2.3 billion in real estate, and my tax guy steal my goodies? That sucks. Why, God? Why? The reality is very simple. To put me here with you. He wanted me to show the world what can be done. Sucks. See, I don't like God's time. Never have, never will. I'm a licensed pastor. Living by that book is the hardest thing you ever do. As we develop my website called Jesus Is Not a Drive-Thru, you might want to check it out. I write books all the time, having fun, because I'm bored. So what you get the choice is, because of me being bored at the library and all the time, I basically do one thing. I want to study law and accounting. See, numbers never lie. People do. I've said that for 50 years. I love numbers. It's fun. I like to win. But I'm very competitive as well. So, as we play this game, your goal is the Ray Reynolds Blueprint Live. Simple for all of you. You call, talk to a specialist in about an hour's time. 800-254-9506. Be assigned to a specialist. From there, they'll help you. Your future should be this. Let me send you a mouse pad. Simple. From there, you got to think about the Blueprint Loan American Express gives or lines of credit. The books are free. It's in the download. It's in the link tree. It's free, free, free. It's very simple. So as you do this, wish I knew you years ago. I'm going to the stand soon. All right, get it started soon. Well, everybody says, I wish I would have started. I wish I'd known this a long time ago. It's just true. But again, I've been out there for 50 years, radio and TV all the time. So again, I got an award in California being the second largest advertiser one time for 32 years. Here's Black Kinfolk. He's been a client 30 years, so his family's been clients for 50 years. 50 years, understand? So again, these books are free because I want you to learn. I don't want you hiring credit repair because it's a ripoff. Okay, they're not supposed to do what they're doing anyway. Winning the credit game. Starting it right for the kids and for you to understand credit. Simple. Opt out the phone number. Nobody gives you this stuff. You get off the national mailing list because you should do that every time as you play this game to win. Okay? So the bottom line is very simple. As we want to play the game, we want to win. But again, it's up to you. See, all I understand is one thing. Okay? You bring the pain home. I don't understand why. You could actually do what I did. Research the law and accounting. But that's up to you as well. So thank you for joining me today. Let's have some fun. Remember, today I'll be online again, probably in the middle of the day for the fun of it. And also at 3 o'clock, I have a class called Analyzation. Okay, if you want to learn a lot more, Analyzation will help you open the door as well. Tomorrow I'll be online at 3:15 in the morning. Okay, doing a live like this. And then from there I have classes all through the day. 7 o'clock, literally is your first class, goal setting. Then we have a specialty class at 9. Then we have level 1, 2, and 3. And it's all very simple. All right, all we have to do is learn to play the game. All right, it's Pacific Standard Time. Yes, it is, okay? Let's compare time right now, please. It's 5:20 in the morning, 5:20, okay? You're not riding off the Rolex, the haircut, the chef at home, and all that crap, okay? There's too much crap out there, okay? You got a choice. Learn to play my way and understand how to win the game of business. All right, classes and other platforms, yes, all the time. So again, call your specialist, 800-254-9506. Be assigned to one. He or she can help guide you through this process. See, the problem is you haven't had one consistent coach or person helping you every step of the way. That's what happens, okay? You have the ability to basically get your life on track. I'm going to say structure, finance, stream, structure, finance, stream. I'm also going to say that God is first, always has been, okay? Families, husband and wife being one. And then from there, it's always money. I don't love money. I need money. There's a difference, okay? We need money to pay our bills. That's why I put that book years ago. I literally says BS doesn't pay your bills. All right, Father, please be with these people today. Have them listen, learn, have them understand their rules and tools, have them take what you gave me and they learn to play the game to win for themselves. Family, God, family, money has always been that way. So be with the world today, the war, the military, all the people around us. Guide us, understand knowledge and rules and tools, please. I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your choice is to listen and learn and go get it. If not, sorry, I'm going to say you blew it. My way works. Always has, always will. And I understand, I always say your way sucks. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that. Never forget, at the end of the day, God loves us all. That's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal as we play this game to win.